Last but not the least, we have our special guest speaker. He has come all the way from Birmingham, Darren Harris. In a 17-year career encompassing both football and judo, Darren Harris is a two-time Paralympian, 6-time World Championship finalist, and 9-time European Championship medalist. Performing under pressure is an occupational hazard for any elite athlete. And as a speaker, coach, and mentor, Darren now shares his secrets with organizations and individuals about how belief systems are important in coping with stress and maintaining confidence. Over to you, Darren. Can I ask Dee? Stand here.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. It's great to be back in Cardiff. I spent 10 very happy years here, which isn't something that every English person will say. Now, one of the reasons why I left is because they started making the train station announcements in Welsh. Now, I used to turn to the train station, I'd be listening out for my platform, and I'd be in a rush as always, and I'd hear Llanfair, Pwll, Brigid, Gogeri, Jopl, Santa Celia, go, go, go. And by the time I finished all that, my train was halfway to Birmingham. So, I'm going to ask you guys a question. You've heard my bio. It's great to hear, to remember how many sort of awards I've had over the years and how successful my life is. So, I'm going to ask you a question. What it is you think are the essential ingredients to being a successful athlete? I asked John if he could point out, I'm not Jonathan David Dimbleby, so I can't pick out the person in the purple shirt at the back, so if you could stick your hands up and John will choose someone for me.
Come on. Gentleman over there with the grey sweater on. It's a grey shirt.
What do you say?
Nice grey shirt.
Essential ingredients, yeah?
Yeah. Just one.
Self-belief.
Self-belief. Okay. Someone else?
There you go.
Yeah.
Perseverance.
Perseverance.
Gentleman with the hat.
Winning attitude.
Attitude. One more.
Dedication.
Dedication. So, I noticed a pattern there. Self-belief, attitude, dedication, perseverance. They're all internal attributions. And, funny enough, there's a phenomenon in psychology, we have a name for it. We call it self-serving attribution. And it basically means that people attribute their successes to internal factors and their failures to external factors. So when we get things right, it's all down to us. And when we get it wrong, it's down to something else or someone else. Now, I don't think that's right. And I speak from experience. I don't think I'd be standing here if it wasn't for some of the fantastic coaches, mentors that I've had over the years. So why is it then that we have this self-serving attribution? So is it because, as individuals, we don't want to blame ourselves for when things go wrong? I mean, I guess we've all come across those people who say, you know, they do something right, but they go, I was lucky. Yeah, that happens to everyone else. And we kind of think of those types of people as being a little bit morbid, maybe depressed. And then you get the people who are at the other end of the scale, the ones that thank everyone for everything that's ever happened to them. You might have seen those Oscar awards, you know, when the Hollywood actresses on there, aren't they? And Gwyneth Paltrow's doing her tearful speech and she's thanking everyone. The dog, the cat. Very tearful. I'm not going to do that. But I am going to pay dedication to one of my mentors that really turned my life around. I mean, Joseph Campbell is a famous mythologist, lecturer, scholar, and he talks about the jungle. He talks about when you see a path, that someone's already forged that pathway for you. And he talks about self-transformation. He says, you've got to cut your own way in life. You've got to make your own path through that jungle and define yourself by that. But he never said you had to do it on your own. Now, a long time ago now, I was at school. And I had a pretty difficult time at school. That's probably an understatement. And every day was a fight. I used to fight with my teachers. That was literally, by the way. I used to fight with the students. And I used to fight myself. And pretty much everyone had given up on me. I was excluded from school. I was at a boarding school, actually, and I wasn't even allowed to live on the campus. And there was one teacher, a maths teacher, who was like a sort of shining light in the dark, who never gave up on me. I don't really know what it was that she saw in me. Maybe it was something she saw in me, maybe it was just her good nature. I mean, sometimes when you've got a class full of intelligent kids, you probably think, well, loads of them are going to do well, you know, we're going to have a good Ofsted report at the end of the year. So it doesn't matter if we let this one rogue person slip away. But she didn't want to do that. And I remember I was doing my GCSE coursework, I hadn't done it on time. And she gave me a right rollicking. And she told me to pull my finger out. But people had shouted at me before, and it had not made any difference. So why did it make a difference on this occasion? I think it was because I knew that she wanted me to do well for me. That's what made the difference. I knew that she cared about how well I did, and that it was my future. It wasn't about it looking good for her, it wasn't about it looking good for the school. You know, we used to have speech day at the end of the year, and we used to bring in all these people from the royal family, all these sort of famous celebrities, and they'd talk about how great the school was, and how many people were going to Oxford and Cambridge that year, and how many people were going to university. But she knew that there was something in me that she saw, and she decided to persevere with me. So it's no surprise that after getting C's and D's and E's and F's in my work, I sort of pulled my finger out. I did maths for an A-level, I got an A, and then I went to university, and you won't be surprised to know what I studied at university. I went and did maths. And I remember actually, even at the end of my first year, I still hadn't knuckled down. Not absolutely. Still, I was enjoying university life, I was out drinking, partying, having a great time with my friends, and neglected to do any work. And I'd get to the end of the year, went to look at one of the past papers and realised I couldn't do it. And I gave her a call, and she said, don't panic, just relax. And she came up to Sheffield, and she sat down with me, she went through some of my notes, she taught me through some of the stuff, and I got through my first year. And then I hadn't spoken to her for a couple of years. I was sitting at my finals. And in those days when you used to have 4 exams in 4 days, not much fun. And I'd had my first exam. It hadn't gone as well as I'd hoped. I was sitting at home feeling a bit sorry for myself, knowing that I needed to revise for my exam the following day. But I was a bit down on myself. And it was almost like this sort of telepathic communication. Somehow she knew that I needed her. The phone rang, and there she was. And I just told her what was going on, how I felt, and she said, calm down, relax, just do what you've been doing. Exam went great, I got my degree, I went and got a job. And the thing is, what she told me was to never give up. She never gave up on me, and it's something I took into my sport. You heard about my sporting career, I had a fantastic career. One of the things I was noted for, always, was playing to that very last minute. We had a really important game, I remember, back in 2007, European Championships. We needed to draw to get into the semi-final. We were losing 1-0. 50 odd seconds to go. One of my teammates crosses the ball to me. I'm on the edge of the area. I control it, I shoot. It goes into the back of the net. Never give up. As you know, I'm going to finish shortly. I'm a life coach now, I'm a mentor, and the reason why I do it is that very reason, that I see in everyone a great potential. We do it because we want to empower people, because actually winning all those trophies, winning medals, they sit at home, they sit on my mantelpiece, and they're great, but they're not something that anyone else really can experience. That's something very much as a personal thing, very much a selfish pursuit. But helping others to pursue their dreams, to fulfill their ambitions, is as enjoyable as any medal I've won. So ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to think of two things before I finish. How aware are you of your values and beliefs, the things that are holding you back from fulfilling your potential? And the other thing I'd like to ask you is, are you taking responsibility for the direction that your life is taking? Because actually, we can sit here, and I know we're going to have a Q&A later, and you'll be asking me questions and you'll be expecting answers. But actually, most of the answers are within ourselves. We know most of the time the things that we should be doing and the things that we shouldn't be doing. You have the answers. And it's incredibly empowering when you find that answer yourself. When someone tells you what to do, it works in the short term. But I've never liked anyone telling me anything. I wanted to find out for myself. So thanks for listening to me, guys. It's been a great time. Thank you very much.